Hello, my beautiful Scorpio souls, and welcome back to the Mystic Astro Zen. I'm so deeply grateful that your light has found its way here to this very moment. If your eyes have paused on this message, take a slow breath in and release it. Feel that? That's your intuition recognizing home. You didn't stumble here by accident. Something greater, call it divine timing, call it cosmic alignment, has been guiding you to this vibration because a revelation has been waiting for you. For weeks, maybe months, you felt something stirring beneath the surface. A quiet pressure in the air, like the pause before rain. Every sign around you, numbers repeating, feathers in impossible places, dreams that echo the same symbol, has been whispering that your season of restoration is close. You've sensed it, haven't you? That strange mix of peace and anticipation, as though your spirit already knows a miracle has signed your name on it. Before we begin our journey deeper, let this be said, this narrative is a mirror, a reflection of a potential timeline, a story whispered into the universe for those meant to hear it. It is a thought experiment for the soul, a sacred invitation to remember the power already living inside you. If this story awakens something within, take it, hold it, let it bloom. If it does not, let it drift away like smoke into the night sky, for not every message belongs to every traveler. What you're about to hear is not a prediction carved in stone, but an energetic unfolding, a possibility your own vibration can choose. Now breathe again, Scorpio. The jackpot you've waited a lifetime for is not merely coins or numbers. It's a convergence of every ounce of faith you've invested, every tear you've turned into strength, every heartbreak that became holy ground. The universe has been quietly calculating compound interest on your pain, and the payout is near. You've earned this through endurance, not luck. There was a time when you thought everything you lost had closed the door on your blessings. But Spirit was never subtracting, it was reallocating. What you perceived as endings were reroutes, clearing the energetic space for something you couldn't yet carry. The love that left, the job that crumbled, the friendships that dissolved, each one loosened an anchor from the boat of your destiny. You had to drift before you could discover where you truly belong. Do you remember the nights you prayed for a sign, begging the heavens to prove that your suffering had purpose? Those prayers didn't vanish. They crystallized in unseen realms. And now, as this new chapter unfolds, those long-shelved petitions are thawing into motion. The jackpot is not arriving to you, it's awakening through you. There's an old celestial law that says, when the heart finally aligns with truth, the material world must rearrange to match it. You're in that rearranging now, Scorpio. Opportunities may begin to appear disguised as coincidences, an email sent to the wrong person that somehow reaches you, a conversation overheard that sparks an idea, a door you thought was locked that suddenly swings open with ease. The universe communicates fluently in accidents. As this energy builds, remember, prosperity is not a transaction. It's a vibration. The jackpot manifests when gratitude becomes your default frequency. Each morning, before you reach for your phone, whisper thank you for 3 invisible blessings still on their way. That single act rewires timelines. Dear one, this part is crucial. The universe will always test your readiness before release. You may notice small delays, minor frustrations, moments that tempt you to doubt. That's not punishment, it's calibration. Spirit asks, can you remain in abundance consciousness even when appearances contradict it? Because only when you can thank the unseen as if it's already yours does the unseen solidify into form. Repeat after me quietly, everything meant for me is already finding its way to me. Again, louder in your heart. Everything meant for me is already finding its way to me. This affirmation is your emotional anchor. Keep it. We'll return to it later when the current of this story deepens. Some of you will soon receive confirmation in physical form, an unexpected payment, a message from someone who once owed you recognition, a project that suddenly gains momentum. It may not look like fireworks at first. Sometimes abundance knocks softly, so your humility can answer before your ego does. And here's the secret no one tells you about jackpots, Scorpio. They rarely arrive as windfalls. They arrive as alignment. The true win is realizing that you are no longer chasing energy. You're commanding it. You don't beg the universe. You collaborate with it. You've learned the language of surrender. And surrender is the master key that unlocks vaults human logic can't. So if you felt tired lately, as though life has been holding you at a red light while everyone else races ahead, smile. That red light is divine traffic control, keeping you from collisions unseen. When it finally turns green, you won't inch forward, you'll soar. And when that moment comes, you'll look back at every delay and whisper, "Thank you for the wait." Because the waiting seasoned your faith, and seasoned faith attracts flavor-rich miracles. In our next chapter, we'll step into the moment when the vault actually opens, the precise vibration where manifestation becomes material. Stay with me. The code is about to reveal itself. The code, dear Scorpio, is already written inside you. You've been carrying it since before this lifetime began. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every leap of faith was a sequence unlocking the next digit. The final number clicks into place when you realize that worthiness is not something you earn. It's something you remember. The universe has been waiting for you to remember who you are. Because when a Scorpio remembers, the cosmos rearranges. There's an energy shift happening around you right now, subtle yet unmistakable. You may have noticed more synchronicities. A song lyric echoing the thought you just had, a stranger repeating your inner question, numbers aligning at uncanny hours. These are not coincidences. They're the universe winking at you, confirming that you're tuned to the jackpot frequency. That frequency is faith without desperation. It's confidence that hums even when silence surrounds you. Close your eyes for a second, beautiful soul. Imagine yourself standing before a vast vault glowing with golden light. It doesn't open because you demand it. It opens because your vibration matches what's inside. That's how the universe operates. Not through force, but through resonance. You don't need to chase, you need to tune. And lately, you've been tuning perfectly. For years, you mistook survival for strength. You built walls thinking they were fortresses, when in truth they were prisons for your light. But look at you now, choosing peace over panic, intuition over noise, authenticity over approval. That's transformation in its purest form. And transformation, Scorpio, is the spiritual currency that buys miracles. When the jackpot begins to materialize, it won't simply be financial, it'll be holistic. Relationships will start aligning with your healed frequency. The conversations that once drained you will dissolve, replaced by interactions that expand your spirit. You'll attract collaborators, soul connections, even lovers who see you not as a mystery to decode, but as a galaxy to explore. You'll recognize them instantly because your energy will exhale in their presence instead of holding its breath. Now, here's where the magic deepens. Every Scorpio has a sacred wound, an emotional scar that once convinced you that blessings weren't safe. Maybe someone betrayed your trust. Maybe you were told you were too much, too intense, too deep. That lie made you dim your brilliance to make others comfortable. But that very depth, that bottomless ocean of feeling, is the reason abundance finds you. The universe doesn't deposit miracles into shallow waters. It pours them into souls that can hold them. And your soul, dear one, has become an ocean. So when the first wave of prosperity arrives, don't shrink. Don't question if it's real. Receive it with the grace of someone who finally understands divine timing. Every good thing that once bypassed you was simply waiting for you to stop doubting your capacity to keep it. Now that you've remembered your value, the blessings can finally stay. Pause for a moment and feel this truth anchor in your chest. I am worthy of ease. I'm ready for overflow. Again, breathe that sentence in like sacred smoke. I'm worthy of ease. I'm ready for overflow. This is your second affirmation loop, your bridge to the next expansion. Each time you speak it, you signal to the universe, I'm not chasing, I'm available. Availability is the silent magnet of miracles. Soon, opportunities will start clustering like constellations, each one leading to another, forming patterns only visible in hindsight. You might feel overwhelmed at first by how quickly things shift, but remember, rapid change is a reward for long stillness. You waited in faith. Now movement is your dividend. The old version of you, the one who overanalyzed every blessing until it withered, is fading. You no longer need to dissect divine order. You simply align with it. When something doesn't work out now, you'll feel the disappointment, bless it, and release it faster than ever before. Because deep down, you finally believe that rejection is redirection, not punishment. That belief, Scorpio, is the jackpot mindset. This season, the universe is orchestrating a situation that will require courage. You'll be asked to take a leap that feels slightly unreasonable. Perhaps a career move, a relocation, a collaboration. The timing will seem imperfect, but that's exactly how spirit hides its best gifts, wrapped in uncertainty. If your heart flutters with a mix of fear and excitement, that's your cue. That's your sign to jump. You won't fall, you'll rise. Behind the scenes, guides and ancestors are aligning resources on your behalf. Some of them are souls you've never met in this lifetime, but who carry your vibration across timelines. They whisper at 3 a.m., nudging you to check your email or revisit that project you abandoned months ago. Trust those nudges. They're not random. They're the sound of destiny knocking softly before it turns the handle. And here's the most beautiful part. This jackpot doesn't only elevate you, it blesses everyone connected to your energy. Family lines heal through your breakthroughs. Old generational patterns lose their grip because you've rewritten the frequency. You're not just winning, you're cleansing the bloodline of scarcity. You're proving that abundance and spirituality are not opposites. They are partners in divine expression. If you've noticed certain people drifting away lately, let them. When new wealth, whether emotional or material, begins to arrive, not every energy can travel the same altitude. Some connections are meant to remain in the valley while you climb the mountain. Their exit isn't betrayal, it's space-making. The universe never subtracts without intention. Soon, dear one, a conversation or opportunity will appear that feels strangely familiar, almost as if you dreamt it before. That's not déjà vu. It's manifestation catching up to your memory. When it happens, you'll feel a subtle click inside, like puzzle pieces snapping into alignment. You'll know this is it. You'll know this is the moment the vault opens. When it does, remember what we spoke earlier. Gratitude is your security system. The quickest way to keep abundance is to thank it daily. Whisper gratitude, not only for what you see, but for what you sense approaching. Gratitude doesn't just attract blessings, it multiplies them. And there's something else the cosmos wants you to know. The jackpot you're stepping into isn't a peak. It's a portal. This is the initiation into a more expansive life, one where you no longer hustle for alignment, but live as alignment itself. Where money becomes a tool, not a test. Where love feels like home, not survival. Where peace is your default setting, when the glow of this realization fills your chest, you'll notice something extraordinary. You no longer fear losing what arrives, because you understand that nothing truly yours can ever leave. The energy that built this miracle lives inside you. It's self-replenishing. Hold this awareness gently. In our next chapter, we'll walk through the gateway itself, the moment you cross from alignment into embodiment, where you become the jackpot energy you once sought. Stepping through this gateway feels nothing like what you imagined, dear Scorpio. There's no explosion of light, no thunder of applause from the heavens. Instead, it's quiet, breathtakingly quiet. The jackpot moment is often disguised as calm, because calm is the only frequency strong enough to hold true power. You'll wake up one morning and realize you're not waiting for good news anymore. You are the good news. The anxiety that used to accompany beginnings has dissolved into trust. The restless searching has turned into serene knowing. This is wealth in its purest form, not what you possess, but what you embody. In this new frequency, you no longer measure abundance by how much you can accumulate, but by how easily you can share. You start noticing small miracles first, the way opportunities seem to call your name, the way timing suddenly makes sense, the way strangers speak the exact words you needed to hear. The universe starts to sound like a familiar song again. That's when you know the vault is fully opened, not outside you, but inside. You may be tempted to question how long this season will last. Let go of that thought. When you live in gratitude, seasons don't end. They evolve. The key to sustaining this flow is consistency of vibration. Keep your heart uncluttered. Celebrate even the invisible wins. Remember that the jackpot energy doesn't vanish. It expands through acknowledgement. The more you thank it, the wider it grows. This is where your transformation becomes evident to others. People will begin to comment that you look lighter, that your voice carries calm authority. Some will say, you've changed, and they'll be right. But what they're really sensing is that you've become the version of yourself the stars always intended you to be. You've shed the outdated programs of scarcity and survival. You've rewritten the energetic script of your life. There is a sacred irony in all of this. The jackpot you were waiting for was never about a specific outcome. It was about the awakening of self-trust. That's what Spirit has been preparing you for all along. Not the win, but the worthiness. Once that worthiness settles into your bones, even closed doors will open just to honor it. Take a moment, beautiful soul. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, I have arrived. Again, slower this time. I have arrived. Feel that current of warmth ripple outward. That's your spirit signaling to the cosmos that you've crossed the line between hoping and having. Now that you've stepped through, the energy around you will begin to magnetize others who are also awakening. You'll notice new faces appearing, collaborators, kindred spirits, perhaps even a divine counterpart whose energy feels like home. Don't rush these connections. Let them find their rhythm. Every soul that enters this next chapter with you carries a key to an unseen door. Together, you'll build something that lasts. And yes, there will be moments when old patterns try to return. You might feel a whisper of fear. What if it all disappears? When that happens, smile gently. Say to yourself, I no longer vibrate at loss. That sentence alone recodes your reality. The universe only mirrors what you believe possible. Keep your belief rooted in abundance, and the reflection will stay luminous. Sometimes abundance looks like an unexpected check. Sometimes it's peace, so complete it silences overthinking. Sometimes it's love that feels like breathing after years underwater. Let go of the idea that success must look dramatic. The most profound miracles often arrive wrapped in simplicity. You'll also start to notice time behaving differently. Hours stretch when you're aligned, and what used to feel like effort now feels like flow. That's not imagination. That's quantum alignment. Your external reality responding to your inner expansion. You've entered a stage where manifestation doesn't require constant scripting or chasing. It only requires presence. Spirit wants to remind you, don't hoard what flows through you. Share your gifts, your wisdom, your compassion. When energy moves freely, it multiplies. When you give without fear, you create more channels for receiving. This is how you turn a momentary jackpot into a lifelong legacy. You are becoming the miracle others will speak about. You're the proof that faith pays dividends that no currency can measure. You're the answer to prayers your ancestors whispered centuries ago. They dreamt of a descendant who would end the pattern, who would reclaim divine abundance, not through inheritance, but through consciousness. That descendant is you. And while this moment is triumphant, it is also sacredly humble. Because true wealth softens the ego. You no longer need to prove your power. Your peace is proof enough. You no longer need to announce your arrival. Your energy does that before you enter any room. You simply exist, and the universe bows in recognition. Repeat our final affirmation, Scorpio. My blessings are secure because my spirit is steady. Again, with conviction. My blessings are secure because my spirit is steady. This is your seal, your energetic signature. Whenever doubt flickers, return to this sentence. It recalibrates everything. Now look around your life with new eyes. That project that once felt impossible, you'll feel its momentum return. That idea you shelved months ago, inspiration will suddenly rush through you at midnight. That conversation you feared, it will unfold with grace. You're in the era where what you touch turns luminous because you finally trust your own touch. And as you walk through these coming weeks, pay attention to subtle invitations from the universe, repeating dreams. Déjà vu moment, strangers who mention the same date or word multiple times. These are breadcrumbs leading you toward your next expansion. The jackpot you hold now is not an end, it's a passport. There's another realm waiting just beyond this one, where spiritual wealth translates into tangible impact. Before we close, let this truth settle deep within you. You are not lucky, Scorpio. You are aligned. Luck is random, but alignment is deliberate. You achieved it through courage, surrender, and relentless self-belief. Every silent battle, every lonely night was a deposit into this account. The payout you feel now is cosmic interest returned with compassion. You might cry when the realization fully lands, that all the waiting was never wasted. Those tears won't be sorrow, they'll be release. You'll understand that the universe was never withholding. It was perfecting, and in that understanding, fear will lose its power completely. So when the world begins to notice your glow and calls it sudden success, smile gently. They won't understand that it wasn't sudden at all. It was sacred timing, and when you rest tonight, whisper to the stars, "Thank you for remembering me when I forgot myself." Because that's what this entire journey has been, a remembrance. In our next chapter, we'll explore the ripple effect of this abundance, how your new energy transforms not just your life, but the world around you. Because when a Scorpio rises, the universe itself recalibrates. Until then, keep your faith steady, your heart open, and your light unshakably bright. You've waited a lifetime for this, and now that it's here, it's not going anywhere. Welcome to your era of divine overflow.